Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Brother Matt, what's happening, brother? Can you hear me okay? Turn this up. Sympnosis September. One-itis October. Well, hope you're doing good. I just did a um, 8 mile ride up the canyon. Damn wind was crazy. Bunch of side-by-sides trying to run me off the road, but I made it. One piece. Went up. I was about a minute quicker than I was. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Talking to Matt Downer. And who else is in the house? Lesser Cesar is in the house. Now, what is the future? I'm just doing a quick 45-minute stream because then I'm getting on Absolute Knowledge Seekers stream. But I was just thinking about the future today. Spike is in the house. Good to have you, brother. What is the future? What do you think what's happening? Mm-hmm. What is the future of men and women and relationships and government? Now we're seeing a pushback in everything. We're seeing a censorship on one end and a pushback on the other end. We're seeing tyranny with a T and those that aren't going to submit on the other side. And you're right, Chili Sentenza. MGTOW is freedom, business, working out, men first. That's the future. You either are going to go further into sympnosis, as One Fast Act talks about, or you're going to continue to build upon yourself and push back. Those are the only two options. You're going to have to pick a side. Simping for the government, simping for the hive-minded thinking, or taking a stand and pushing back. Timmy Kramer's in the house. Men do not get married. Shout out to Ventian. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor, has lived that theme for how many years? You know what Timmy's married to? Freedom. His freedom will never divorce Timmy Kramer. There you go. So the future of men, what does it hold for men and the 1% to 2%? Especially with the laws changing, with the culture, with the environment, with psychology, with hive-minded thinking, with social media, with head meds, with cats and dogs. And there's now, if you go on YouTube, you can look at pet people that have exotic pets like capybaras, which are a gigantic rodent. They used to be in South America when I first noticed them. Guys have pets, alligators as their pets. But anyhow, the reality is we've got to either stand firm and push back or get trampled. I think that's the only future. Or completely go off the grid. Right? You either take the pokey poke or you don't. Those are the only two options. Now I just read that to fly domestically, there might be a mandate. You cannot fly unless you get the pokey. So go for it. Eddie in the house watching from work. Good to have you, brother. Great icon there. That looks like most men in marriage these days. Good to have you, Eddie. Tell me where you're from again. Artificial womb or leftovers? That is funny. You got to tell me where you're from. Off the grid is your only choice. Off the grid physically or mentally or emotionally, right? Somehow completely leave no trace. And that's hard. That's hard in a digital world where we're tracked. People go, what's privacy? You know, privacy used to be a talk. If you can be private and have privacy and show others, that is a skill now because everything is tracked unless you're in the city where there's cameras everywhere. You're going to have to pay with cash, but they don't want you paying with cash anymore, right? To get into restaurants, you're now going to have to show proof of something. Baloney Joni, build cabins, stoke bonfires. Matt Downer, well said. And have some wonderful hot chocolate or whatever floats your boat. Artificial womb or leftovers. Timmy Kramer's in in the hot city of Phoenix. You guys should hook up. Tennessee, just east of Memphis. Ooh. I like going to Memphis. Went to this great barbecue downtown from the Titan Stadium, I think. And then I went to Elvis's high school. I went to Sun Studios. I went to Graceland, which, god dang, Graceland did not look good. So, but I'm a big Elvis fan, as you guys know. Good to have you, Eddie. Hello, Rad, on a one-way ticket back to Simpville. Teddy Boy Smith from the UK. Just don't get caught in sympnosis. Howdy, Rad. Hot chocolate rocks. Riz Ali. I'm drinking some sweet and spiced tea right now. Hot tea. I'm fasting. So there's no calories. There's nothing in it except roots or something. And it is delicious. I try to do Wednesday, Thursday, my fasting days, and then 2 other days I kind of do a 16 or 18, depending. So about 4, I give myself a day in between and 2 days on the weekend. But I do pretty well as well because I combat my issues with exercise and water. Marty Lee, chilling with my little sister right now, teaching her what's up. Good. Get her off screens. What's been popping in my YouTube lately are those, why aren't you in uniform? Those little clips. It drives me nuts, these gals. It seems like all these gals are doing it. Again, hive mind. That's what men get to look forward to. You know, Elvis almost got banned from dancing in 1956 when he was on the stage in that iconic picture where he's flexing his hips. Now look where we're at. Ian Blades in the house. Good to see you. About to take my much needed red pill, a big dose tonight. We're only on for a few minutes till around 7. Then I'm on Absolute Knowledge Seekers channel. You guys need to check that out if you want to continue the some discussion. But that's at 9 p.m. EST live stream with RAD. Riz Ali fasting. Oh, well, you just keep doing it. It's good for you. It's good for you. Fasting gets you mentally prepared and emotionally, spiritually, physically. And you don't spend any money. Been watching your vids and live streams for a while now. Just decided to chime in. Good for you. You know, chime in, Eddie. I don't know what your age is, if you come out of a marriage or divorce, but love to hear your experience. I try to make these chats as interactive as possible because I learn from you. Everybody in the chat, even the ladies that appear. I learn from experiences, issues, circumstances, and I hope you guys learn from mine because that's what we share. It's called gyrating. That's the stream tonight. Guys, go ahead and note on that. It's Absolute Knowledge Seekers. He comes in a lot. He's got a good channel, about 400 that pop in. So always good stuff. Always good stuff. Anything that can keep us thinking in the right direction is always solid medicine. Teddy Boy Smith, why are women nice to men? Being friendly, flirting, giving attention to get attention when they don't really like you. Biology, female nature. Most, the 98%, have a mechanism built in that seeks attention or resources or validation. It's as simple as that. Or status. And when you don't give them enough status, resources, attention, or validation, or you're boring or controlling, they bounce to the bigger and better deal. That is nothing you can do. You just have to understand it, be aware of it. Going to a wedding this Saturday, I warned him, return and report for 300 Trebek. We expect a full report, Timmy Kramer, of the wedding. Will you take him a box of Kleenex for me? Because those tears will be shed when he has to give half of his life savings away. So that's the future. The future is going to be you either push back or you push, or you're going to either push towards or pull away. That's it. You got to take a stand no matter what happens. I mean, you could lose your job over it. You could quit traveling. You could lose members of your family over it. Husbands and wives, I hear, are divorcing because one of them won't get the pokey. I mean, we are literally, this whole circumstance worldwide is meant to divide humanity. It's however you slice and dice it. So pick your side. And if you pick the right side, which is the RP, empower yourself every day. Get healthy. You know, one of the ways to beat it is to get healthy. Drink lots of water. Fasting is probably the best thing. I've been to Mexico 3 times. All over, been around tons of people, different cultures, and I've never had any issue. In fact, the only thing I got was Montezuma's revenge when I came back. I probably had I had a salad, which was, typical. Eddie, I'm 54. Ex divorced me after 28 years. 4 boys are grown and she gets nothing from me. She left my pension alone. Well, I'm glad that your kids, you didn't have to go through custody, because that is an ultra shit show. Even the alienation, the not seeing able to kids, so good for you. And she got nothing. You must have had a good attorney or something. Good for you. But I wonder why she divorced you. Was it because you were controlling or abusive or boring? Yeah, just wait till she gets on the dating market. You will have a free matinee for the rest of your life of comedy. This week, I nearly ran over 2 teens who decided to make TikTok videos in the middle of a busy road. Idiot teens for 300 Trebek. Yeah. They're everywhere, Riz. They're everywhere. These Instagram models shooting everything with their fish lips. They don't care. They could do it in front of 10,000 people. They don't care. That is where society has gone. Absolute self-absorption. Marty Lee, I started talking about the gynocentric culture we're living in during my psychology class today. Some of the kids got offended, especially this feminist chick. Well, that must have taken some massive cojones to talk about that, because today anything that goes against the narrative, you're considered a pariah, right? Good for you for standing up for what's right. Fasting against female nature, FAFN, my one-man organization. Oh my gosh, you might have more people join that, Matt. Fasting against female nature. And how? And guess what? Your pocketbook's grown. Your mental, emotional state has increased. Your physical has increased. And probably just your overall peace spirit has flourished. No fap against the female nature. Fish lips, indeed. I call them duck lips. It's just crazy how they just look. They just look at each other, Riz, like, it's goofball. Even women in their 40s and early 50s and some in their 60s are doing it. It's just, I don't understand it. It makes me gross. It's like, is there any shame in these people? Is there any dignity left? When people say, I'm going to go to the Philippines and Thailand, Eastern Europe, South America. Guys, they do it in South America and Mexico too. I see it. Even in Colombia, one of the poorest towns. Simps were following these Instagram models, cake-faced, taking pictures of their bosom and their bust and their face and their hair and their bottoms. So it's everywhere. Must be like-minded, rad. I think we're very much aligned, Mr. Matt. Robert A's in the house. What's up to you, brother? Oh, you changed your picture. Hope you're doing well, my man. I don't think men can be friends with women. It only benefits the woman. There's no upside for man. Hammerhand talked about this. He's got 2 gals that I don't know if he called them friends or acquaintances, but he keeps in touch with them. One of them, he's been around for 12 years. And, Hammerhand's a good dude. He's back almost to 10,000 subs after they deleted him. But it's again, I think you have valid point, Teddy Boy Smith, with that, especially in today's world. You have to be very careful. Very, very careful. Ian Blades, the irony of Waman calling men controlling is because they want control, hypocrisy, gaslighting, and the manipulation. Crazy how we've all experienced the same tactic all over the world. I used to say to my buddy that he's still married. He's the one who's been 3 or 4 times, and she keeps coming. Or he keeps going back to her after multiple affairs. And I said, if you give her everything that she wants, she'll get bored of you because you didn't say no. But if you tell her no, she'll get mad at you too. Again, the 98% make it very difficult in marriage. Now, do I say all men are great? No, absolutely not. This channel is not to bash ladies. This channel is not to bash men. It's to understand that we both have to do certain things better if we are, able to commingle. But I say 98% of all relationships, all people are not recommended. It's just our modern world. If it was 1960, I'd say 80% are recommended. It's a different world now. Beautiful Life in the House from Laguna Beach. Good to see you. Running those sands today. Marcella in the house. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Don't know if you're moving back or staying put, but always a pleasure, Ms. Marcella. La Señorita. Non-contested divorced. No attorney. What she asked for was reasonable. We were paycheck to paycheck. Now I'm dead for homework. Man, did you score? Good for you. Well, now, based on your needs, which are minimal, you're going to be able to amount very quickly a stack of Benjamins. And as I always said, men can live so simple, so minimalistic. It's crazy. I live in a house that's a quarter of what the size was in the family home, and I still think this house is 10 times too big for me. There you go, Eddie. Winning already. Hey, from Red Deer, Alberta, Lord Spawn, Medicine Hat, Red Deer. I think that's Alberta. Red Deer's Alberta, right? Yeah. Have a coffee crisp or a Mr. Big for me, please. Hi, Rad. American Expat Journey. If a man is going to be single, no wife, no kids until old age, what advice do you have for not being lonely and being happy in old age? Friendships. Learn to be with yourself. Being alone is not the issue. Loneliness is seeking external validation from another person. Meaning, we all have to learn this, you need to be okay by yourself, which means you need to get out and you go sit at a bar, whether you drink or not, watch a game, talk to people, and just build solid friendships. But the best friendship you need to have is with yourself. I have no problem hanging out by myself, traveling by myself. I don't need anyone. Think about it. If you had a lady, okay, maybe you were married, and you're going on a trip. Very few women can travel with a man good. Everyone wants to do things differently. And it makes the trip very much difficult. So what if you were by yourself during those trips? You might have a better time. But it's programming, and you have to learn. The moment you're feeling lonely, you need to stop yourself and say, I accept the fact that I feel lonely, and I'm seeking somebody to validate my existence. Some of the greatest friends I've met at a bar or on a mountain bike path. Most of my friends from my Red Pill days they're not my friends anymore. They were friends for 30 years. So, it doesn't matter where you are. This is what I do. Work on yourself, learn to be alone, go places you've never been, go sit at a restaurant you've never been, typically the bar. You can always talk to the bartender. People will come and sit next to you. Lots of people in the same situation. Send me an email if you want, rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. I will respond. Good to have you. And where are you from? Tori Jones, Phoenix, Arizona. Good to have you. It's hot down there. I watch every night. Good for you. Appreciate you being here. We got Timmy Kramer, that's from Phoenix. Who else we got? Something Wombs and Leftovers is also from Phoenix. There's some good people down there. Good to have you, Tori. Excuse me. Coffee crisps are great. It's like a Kit Kat. But I like Mr. Big too. I just invented a portmanteau manimalist. There you go. Portmanteau. There you go. Love it. Good. Well said, Eddie. Get a dog. Yeah. Learn to be, you know what? It's not hard. We have been conditioned that we have to be with somebody. That when we grow through old age, if a woman's not beside us, we're sad. Well, what would happen if your wife died? My grandmother died when my grandfather was 70. He died at 104. He remarried. She died at 78. He went 20 years without a wife. He was fine. You know? So you have to learn to be by yourself. And the fact that you don't need anyone. If someone pops in your life or you make great friends, perfect. That's all you need. But learn to be, as Eddie says, get a dog, which is great. Learn to be by yourself. Learn it. It's a skill. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Chase Excellence. There you go, brother. Good to have you. So what is your future plans? Well, I've got to get my last one through education, which will be less than 2 years. And then from there, I am free as a bird, folks. Knowing that I survived almost 50 years, I think I could probably go another 20 or 30. Never had a handout from mom or dad or anybody. So I think I can make it another 30. By 80, if I'm still in decent shape, great. If not, I'm getting in a canoe, and I'm going to canoe from Mexico to Hawaii, because either way, I win. Beaumer de Bruche, good to see you. Evening to you, brother. Your grandpappy was tough as nails. All he had was a hip replacement. That's all he had. 103 years and 8 months. He was born in 1916, died in 2019. Guy ate like crap. He had a great mental attitude, and he always was learning and he was always moving. Actually, he was always moving. He never sat. He pruned his trees. He drove. He tilled his garden. He read the good book. Always constantly learning. He played the fiddle all the time. You name it. Oh, beautiful life. I have been in that situation to run off by myself multiple times when I deal with baloney. Jason Reed in the house. Good to see you. It's awesome to be completely content and happy while living a minimalistic lifestyle. There are a few women that like minimalism as well. Good to have you. Teddy Boy, being stuck with a woman in a house is not all it's cracked up to be. Words of wisdom from a youngster in the UK. The basic issue is that our society is built upon a male and female coupling. Correct. Our entire experience as boys prepare us for that paradigm. Women have been given the message that this is wrong. That is absolutely right, 100%, Bower. Way to say. Who's ever listening to this that's sad or lonely, listen to that. It's programmed. Great comment. Thank you, brother Dark Force 73. Good to see you in the house again. 30 years. If you got your grandpappy's genes, you're looking at 50. Oh, geez. You know what's funny, Lord Spawn? Who wants the Jeff Bezos and Bill and Bill Gates? I don't have a name for him. They all want to live forever. Like, I'm looking for, who cares? I want to have a great life, but I don't want to live a million years. Forget that crap. You're going to get tired of tying your shoes when you're 1,000 years old. Solitude makes a man chase excellence better. Earn something on your own merit, never an instant gratification, please. Matt Downer. Instant gratification is the cancer of humanity. You're absolutely 100% right. I go to Park City and I ride 9 miles up and I ride 9 miles down. You can take the lift all the way up and you don't have to ride up. But to me, that's cheating. I like to earn it and sweat and fall down and get my legs completely cramped, because when I'm coming down, I earn that ride. And you're absolutely right. Instant gratification is the biggest weakness that's ever infiltrated the human race. Rad, I'm going to live to 100. We all might. We'll see what happens. It'll be a total funny shit show. Rad, you are a self-made, free man. Thank you, Marcella. I am. My parents gave me $100 in college, and I paid them back. Earned it all myself. But there's something to be said about that, and I don't fault anyone whose parents gave them money or paid their education. That's fine. in my circumstance, that wasn't the case, and I was able to bounce, and I think it did well for me. So thank you, Marcella. Thousands and thousands of bat shizzle crazy women here in Phoenix with lots of eyelashes. The snuffleupagus. Less is more, even in female appearance. Well, makeup, that is. I was stationed at Ramstein in Germany in '95. Used to mountain bike there, trails all over the place, had a Specialized rock hopper. Eddie, that was my very first bike. Specialized rock hopper. Got it in 1990. Loved it. So different now. Specialized still makes some good bikes, but that's great. I'd love to go to Germany. I know Germany, they mountain bike like crazy over there. Rat Army reporting for duty. Yes, sir. About face. You think we'll have shoes at that point? Well, probably all. You can go buy an artificial whatever. Everything will be grown in petri dishes. But again, think about this. If you live that long, doesn't it go against everything humanity has stood for? They say Noah lived till 900, but did he live to 900? Who knows? But most people lived up to their 70s or 50s or 30s, depending on the era. But 1,000 years old, that's like, wow. Take a look at how our economics, education, even engineering are based on two-parent households. Now the assumption is being removed and the consequences are completely unpredictable. Boy, how things have changed, Beaumare, in 40 to 50 years. Men want sex, women want attention. Should be an equal exchange. If you add into smashing, then you should be dashing. Yep, that's where we've come. Thank you, dating apps. Thank you, social media. Thank you, feminism. Thank you, you go girl. Thank you, Eat, Pray, Love. Thank you, family court. That's what's happened. Spitting excellence, making vids at 102. I'll be talking like, okay, you guys. I'll be talking like Clint Eastwood. Now, don't get married like the rest. Welcome to Costco. One thing Gregor had right, freedom is better than Edom. Yes. Greg's got some good stuff. I wish he'd listen to more content creators. We can learn from each other. I learn from you guys. C.E. Carrington in the house. Ian Blades is 100% right. Where are you from? Did a 95-minute walk this evening. Dude, that's great. They say just a 60-minute walk does made 3 times a week is amazing. An hour and a half? Dang. That's the best thing you can do. It's even better than lifting weights, they say. Thank you, brother. I do it because, it's more for me. It's selfish. I do this because I'm selfish. But I learn from everybody. We learn from one another. This is an interactive forum where everybody gets to learn, to discuss, and to be better. Right? Snuffleupagus was high on something. Hey, Big Bird. Somebody wanted to cancel Big Bird. Like, ridiculous. Riz, nothing wrong with living to 100 as long as you're independent and not getting your butt wiped like Biden. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. As I age, I've been good in health. And I think I'm going to follow my grandfather's steps. I've always had a pretty strong, I fluctuate if I eat too many saltines or Doritos or what have you, but it's all good. We'll see what happens. But I could go tomorrow and be fine. I raised my family. I'm happy. I've gotten to a place in my life where I've experienced so much and I'm happy. But we'll see where we're at. Call Me Coon is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Call Me Coon has got a great channel. You guys should all be subscribed. You should be subscribed to FJT, Make Tell Life, One Fast Stack, Hammerhand. Who else we got? Red Mine Man, Barely Good Tennis. Beautiful Life has a channel. She does little videos. Good to see you. Call Me Coon. The Coon Hub. Lord Hybrid, will you ever monetize your channel? No. Said from day one, I will never ever take anything. In fact, I'm trying to figure out the October thing, if that's going to happen. We might have to push it to next year. But if that's the case, I'm going to buy each of you that shows up a nice bottle of water or whatever fancies you. Now, and if I get these hats made, they'll be sold at cost. And I'll just send you the link and you buy it from the manufacturer. I don't want anything. I want you to take your money and use it to build yourself. Buy a bike, buy some hiking shoes, buy a snowboard, buy a surfboard, buy a van, learn a skill, learn a hobby, take a cooking class. Don't give me that freaking money. I don't need it. I'm not in it. I've never been in it for dough. If I got into dough, I would probably teach people how to speak Spanish and do a Spanish channel. I want to arrive to the grave, worn out, haggard, gray-bearded, and screaming, what a ride, I'm out. Boom, Aaron, isn't that the truth? I would love to go out like on a mountain bike. I'm 85 years old, beat it, some whippersnappers in front, beat it. Take this huge jump, I'm flying in the air, time stops, land, done. Do I like electric cars? Riz Ali. No. No, I believe in my life. I believe they're unsustainable from a lithium perspective. There's only an infinite supply of lithium versus there's a finite supply of lithium. I think the technology is still going to be difficult unless the only thing that would work would be a fuel cell car using batteries, because the fuel cells would fuel the batteries, but I don't know. People are into them, good for them. Some of them are decent. Lucid makes a cool one. I'm not a Tesla fan. I think VW has one, great. You know, they've had electric cars for years. You know what they're called? Golf carts. Rough month in the stock market. Welcome to Costco. It's all planned, brothers. It's all planned. Electric cars or coal-powered cars, 100% right there, Bomare. Absolutely. They are built off of fossils. Where do you think batteries come from? The earth. Now, when I can get a propeller on my car and it can push me around, great. But until then, petroleum, yo. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. And once those batteries are deleted in 5 years or are washed up, you need 20 grand to get new ones. It's completely against so many different economics and logistics. But he's absolutely right, Bomer. Do you take nutrition supplements? I take apple cider vinegar, Bragg's, magnesium, and DHEA. Oh, and B vitamins. That's it. Buy some weights. Weights are good. I never monetize either. Kills creativity, makes the content corny and repetitive. Lord Hybrid has a channel. I'm gonna have to check that out. Everybody look at Lord Hybrid's channel. Let's help each other. How about motorcycles? I love motorbikes. I want a Scout 60, Indian Scout 60. I did want the Harley Davidson. I did want for a while like a Norton, like an old Norton from the 50s and 60s. But I really like the Indian Scout 60. I just don't want to ride them on the streets in Utah because there's so many idiots. And I want my last kid to be all grown. Men need to learn that when a woman flirts or is nice, it doesn't mean they like you. It's all about them. They want attention, validation, comfort. Men and women are wired differently. 100% for the 98 percenters. Has anyone ever seen Will Smith simping? Yes. You can't make women happy. Don't try. Chase excellence. Live life free from matrimonial slavery. Well, look at Steph Curry, who's now going to have a renewing of his vows. And as Coach Greg Adams says, anytime you renew your vows means your relationship is off the rails. Will Smith is in sympnosis. Do you like the F-150 Lightning, the Ford one? Yeah, I think those are dope. Sean, I really do. As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. Ooh, well said, Eddie. Love it. You guys remember that. New bat tech does not require standard materials. Ooh, I didn't know that. Well, infrastructure would be an issue. I mean, I guess, who knows? I'm so used to fuel. Maybe, I mean, if you look at it, the world's currency is petroleum. That is our currency. That's the world's currency. So if it goes away, wow, you talk about a shit show. Petroleum powers and coal powers everything. Yeah, you can get a little Trojan nuclear plant somewhere. Look what happened to France. Look what happened. I mean, fusion's great, but fusion is also extremely treacherous and dangerous. So if it was so great, how come we don't have more nuclear plants? Well, the environmentalists are nuts about it. I mean, who knows? I'm not an environmentalist that knows anything about that. I just know petroleum is our currency, our world currency. Solar power is running into the same problems as the battery. Gallium arsenide is not recyclable, and also gallium is even more rare than lithium. See, there you go. Yeah. I mean, it's a finite deal. It might have a run for 100 years, 50 years, who knows? The F-150 Lightning is the electric F-150. Okay. Yes, I have seen pictures of it. I don't even know if it's the models out. I've seen the Ford Mustang, the electric Mustang. It looks all right. Would I buy it? No. You know, I'm worried about supply chain issues causing major. Oh, it's already causing problems. Are you kidding me? You guys buy your Christmas presents now because you're not getting them 6 weeks before. Did you hear the new Guns N' Roses song, Hard Skull? Yes, I like it. The one from, what's the other one? Let's see, it starts with an A. Ardid. That's an old Chinese democracy song that they kind of revamped. That was the first one that came out. And then Hard Skull. Hard Skull sounds really good. Discovery Channel did an episode on the shit show. Who believe we'll ever colonize? I don't believe that. Come on, man. I mean, what is it, a 3-year? I mean, it takes you 3 years to get there. You live in a cocoon, right? You live in a, supposedly it's extremely, like the environmental conditions are crazy. Just drive to Vegas from Salt Lake. There is so much open land. Drive from Sacramento to LA. Tons of land. Drive to Eastern Oregon. I mean, why do we need to go to, how are we going to destroy the earth? I don't understand that. But it'd be kind of cool to see someone land on Mars. I think it's going to be extremely difficult, though. But interesting question, Call Me Coon. You should do something like that on your channel. I'd love to watch it. Keep your electric cars. My S2000 roars like an electric car ever built. I turn her on, she returns the favor. That's the Honda S2000, I believe, right? I get bad insomnia. Any sleep tips, Rad? I don't take enough personal time for my health. North-south, melatonin. Valerium is a root. Valerium, Valerium, you can take, which has good nocturnal ways. A lot of people talk about that. They take them on the plane when they're doing red eyes, valerium root. But other than that, put your screen down an hour and a half before you go to bed. You know what I always say? I've had trouble sleeping too. I always tell my inner person, okay, inner subconscious, let's get us to sleep so we can wake up tomorrow and have a great day. I mean, that's how, when I can't sleep, I even talk to myself. And it's worked. But melatonin, valerium, and once in a while, I'll take a Benadryl, knock me out. But a lot of people have sleep issues. Why did Will Smith and Jada make that program discussing their relationship? Because it's the hive mind, man. It's the world we live in. This ain't Total Recall, man. No, it ain't. Valerian root, there you go. That's it. Bourbon on the rocks, liquid sleep. It's happened to me a few times. Get enough sunlight during the day. Valerian root tea, I'll have to get that. On a road trip with no internet, I slept well. Yeah, I'm telling you, screens have ruined our sleep patterns. Lukewarm water and good breathing techniques minutes before bed. Narcissism aftermath. Yeah, there's a technique, narcissism, where you breathe in 6, hold it for 6, and then breathe out 7 or something. And you can do it 3 or 4 cycles, and it really like knocks you out. That's very, very well said. Maybe something on what the future fembots will look like. Ooh, nice. Feminists today already look like aliens with their metal in their faces, their colored faces with green ink, their multicolored hairs. Yes. I personally use some of the Subliminal Rain soundtracks to help me with my sleep issues. Ooh, I know those. And there's like beaches that you can get. They have like 8-10 hours sleeping, where you can hear the raindrops, as Beaumare talks about, or the crashing of the waves. Sam Adams and Coke. Eddie A. Everyone's got a technique. Ever tried turmeric? It helped. Yes. Inflammation. You know what else is good for inflammation? Fasting. But turmeric is wonderful too. I think they make a turmeric tea or a tea that has it. But they also have the pills, right? Well, look, guys, this has been great. I'm going to bust out because I got to jump on Absolute Knowledge Seekers channel. If you guys want to meet us, it's starting in 5 minutes. I'll put the deal here. And let's see, I like the sound of crickets. There you go. It's like I'm camping. Captain Morgan with Coke. Captain, the old captain. Love it. There is the channel. We'll see you guys soon. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, men first.